The Supreme Court today let stand a $1.25 million age bias award won by a television sportscaster who was fired.
Home Depot has agreed to pay $65 million to current and former women employees who claimed they were discriminated against.
Regulating romance in the workplace puts employers in the middle of minefield.
The Center for Coastal Studies in Provincetown has settled a former employee's complaint of gender discrimination.
Despite the passage of the Civil Rights Act in 1964, we are still hearing about discrimination in many companies across the country.
Title VII of the Civil Rights Act prohibits discrimination in any employment practice based on race, color, age, religion, sex, national origin, creed, marital status, or pregnancy.
In addition, the Americans with Disabilities Act was passed in 1992 to give civil rights protection to people with disabilities.
At Stage, we comply with all federal and state civil rights and employment statutes. We are required to do so by law, but we also believe it is just good business.
All aspects of employment are governed on the basis of individual experience, skills, ability, attitude, and potential without bias or prejudice. We are committed to promoting an environment of respect and fairness where everyone can achieve their full potential.
And as an associate of Stage, we require that you consistently demonstrate considerate, respectful behavior toward customers, fellow associates, and supervisors. As a condition of your employment, you are required to abide by our non-harassment policy.
It is our policy that all associates should be able to enjoy a work environment free from all forms of discrimination. You must also sign our non-harassment acknowledgement form as a condition of your employment.
We have zero tolerance for discrimination or harassment of any kind in our company. Every associate, regardless of their position, is responsible for promoting a workplace free of any form of harassment.
Now, the first step in creating a respectful workplace is education. It's unfortunate, but many people are simply unaware that their actions may be offensive to others, and others may do or say things that are not only offensive, but illegal.
Today, plaintiffs suing for sexual harassment are including claims for punitive and compensatory damages against individuals as well as against the employer. Now, that sounds complicated. Put simply, it means that not only the company can be sued, but you can also personally be sued for harassment.
Sexual harassment has taken the forefront in the news, but there are other forms of workplace harassment. When the harassment can be interpreted to fall under one of these categories mentioned earlier, you and the company could be at risk.
Webster's dictionary defines harassment as to irritate or torment persistently, to impede and exhaust by repeated attacks or raids. Under this definition, a person may feel that they are being harassed in a discriminating way.
There's more to it than discrimination. The issue is respect. Let's look at a scenario that demonstrates what could happen when we don't treat others with respect.
Hey, Michelle, you want to go to lunch with us today?
Sure, who's going?
Everyone's going. We're going to go to a burger place down the street.
Well, great, then I'll ride with Sarita.
Sarita, she wasn't invited.
What do you mean? I thought you said everybody's going.
Well, she's really not like the rest of us. They like to stick with their own kind. Besides, her religion doesn't eat meat, so why would you go to a burger place?
Yeah, I heard that too. There are a lot of weird things about her religion. Like supposedly, they go straight to heaven for killing Americans. I say the further away we stay from her, the better. You don't want to be on her hit list, do you?
Guys, that's ridiculous. Whatever, I'll write with Lee Chen.
Strike two. They don't have chopsticks at the burger place.
You don't need chopsticks to eat hamburgers.
Michelle, you're such a whiner. You can ride with us.
We really didn't think Michelle would be upset by what we said. After all, we weren't talking about her. I really thought Sarita was a vegetarian. Now when I think back on it, it was offensive and probably sounded prejudiced. And I guess the comment about the chopsticks was uncalled for. I just didn't stop to think about how it would make other people feel.
Harassment can take many forms. It can be subtle or it can be overt. What you have just seen is no laughing matter. Intentional or not, these kinds of remarks, even when disguised as jokes, might be illegal. Even if it's not illegal, it is offensive.
As we said earlier, the issue of sexual harassment has received a great deal of attention. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission defines sexual harassment as unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, or other physical and expressive behavior of a sexual nature.
One type of sexual harassment, legally referred to as quid pro quo, occurs when the harasser promises something in return for sexual favors, like a promotion, for example. It also occurs when refusal to submit to the harasser's advances results in some form of negative repercussion. Observe this scenario.
You know your performance around here has really put you in a great position for promotion. There is one thing I'd like to talk with you about, though.
Sure, Mike. I'm always open for suggestions.
Well, you know teamwork is really important around here.
What do you mean? I get along really good with the team.
Well, of course you do. I'm not talking about how you get along with your other associates. I'm talking about how you act with me. I mean, why don't you give me that same little sexy smile you throw off to everyone else around here? Don't you know what I could do for your career?
I think we have a misunderstanding here, Mike. You said my performance exceeds expectations. What does my smile have to do with?
Now, I like you, Karen. I like you a lot. And I want to see you do well around here. I want to see you get this promotion. But I need someone who can work closely with me. You want to work close with me, Karen?
I was so embarrassed. It made me feel angry and disgusted.
How did you feel observing this scene? In reality, someone actually being harassed in this way often describes feeling violated, humiliated, even disgusted. It's not uncommon to hear people who have been in this situation describe many years later the profound impact an event like this has on their life.
Another form of harassment, called hostile work environment, occurs when the action of the harasser has the effect of creating an intimidating or hostile work environment. The hostile work environment is often subtle, but it is just as offensive and every bit as illegal.
In many cases, the harassment is not even intentional. As we said earlier, even if it's not intentional, your behavior may still result in creating a hostile work environment. It's not a question of intent by the alleged harasser, but instead it's an issue of impact on the victim.
One important way to eliminate the potential for creating a hostile work environment is to maintain a professional attitude and keep your behavior focused on job-related issues.
Hey, Joni, your hair looks great. Is it a new haircut?
No, I just changed the style a little bit.
Well, it really looks perfect for you, and your outfit's cute too. I mean, is it new?
No, I've worn this 1,000 times.
All right, well, maybe you ought to wear it more often. I mean, it really looks great on you.
Thank you. He probably thought he was just being friendly. However, the definition of sexual harassment lies in the impact of the behavior, not in the intentions of the alleged harasser. It's very easy to cross the line when the comments can be interpreted to have a sexual undertone.
Tim, can you come here, sweetie? That's not how we group this merchandise, hon.
Sorry, Mrs. Vaughn. I thought I had it right.
Here, let me tell you what I'm talking about, sweetie. What you need to do...
Her instructions would be easier to understand if I weren't so distracted by the name calling. You know, honey, babe, all that. It's pretty uncomfortable, and the way she touches me.
But I didn't mean anything by it. I call everybody that. And I'm just a touchy person.
She may not mean anything by it, but it makes me uncomfortable. I can't help but think there's more to it.
Inappropriate personal conversations, off-color jokes, and inappropriate touching are just a few examples of issues that could potentially create a hostile work environment.
How was your big date? Are you on again or what?
We are so on. I almost couldn't drag myself away.
I'm assuming it was hot.
Hello? That's too much information. Not everybody wants to hear about this.
Well, then go somewhere else, because I want details.
Well, it was late and...
Whoa, what a conversation. It was totally inappropriate for the workplace. Yes, it's true, I was not directly involved in the conversation, but I was nearby and I heard every word. It was inconsiderate.
At the very least, the scenario you've just seen shows bad taste on the part of the associates involved, but most importantly, it could be interpreted as a hostile work environment. Many people are simply not aware of the issues surrounding workplace harassment. The victim, as well as the harasser, may be a woman or a man, and it can also occur between people of the same gender.
The harasser can be the victim's supervisor, a supervisor in another area, or a co-worker.
So I was thinking, here's where we can put up the new display.
Yeah, it looks like a good idea. But listen, I got a better idea.
Let's get together tonight.
Look, I already told you, I'm not interested in that kind of relationship.
Come on, we're going to have a great time. It's not like it's a commitment or anything. I like you. I think you're pretty.
Look, you and I have a professional relationship. I don't want to mess that up.
Still, I think it's going to be fun, and it's not... I really like her. I just don't know what the big deal is. I think she's fun, and I really want to go out with her.
It's nothing personal. I just don't date coworkers. He just keeps asking and asking, and I have to keep telling him no. I wish he would stop.
To further contribute to our efforts toward a respectful and productive workplace, we are strongly opposed to socialization between supervisors and their subordinates. We consider this to be the responsibility of both parties. It often has the effect of perceived favoritism, which can result in poor morale within the work group.
It also creates the potential for liability on the part of the associate and the company. Our policy clearly prohibits any supervisor or manager from initiating or maintaining social or intimate relationships outside the scope of normal business activities with any associate in their same work unit who is under their supervision.
It is our goal to inform all associates of our company's non-harassment policy. You must accept personal accountability for promoting a harassment-free workplace.
It is also our goal to eliminate any form of harassment from our company. It is our hope that it never occurs. However, if you are the victim or are aware of any incident of harassing behavior, call Human Resources immediately to report the incident.
Human Resources will always be the partner in investigating and resolving the issue in a timely manner. Stage really is a great place to work. It's our goal to keep it a respectful workplace. We often say, you make the difference. Each of our associates is the key to our success.
We all want to be judged by our contributions, for our skills and abilities, for our character. It is not our age, color, race, religion, or our gender that people should judge us by.
In fact, our differences are our biggest asset.